Tonight on Connecticut's news station, Brian North takes the stand in his trial as he faces manslaughter charges. What he said in the courtroom today about the moments leading up to the shooting.
It's been over 72 hours since a Connecticut National Guard member and her 11-year-old daughter were shot and killed, and still tonight, a suspect is on the run, and police say the suspect was last seen in Hartford. That story tonight.
It's International Women's Day, and lawmakers want to empower women and ensure their safety. We'll take you to the capital city where women are supporting other women tonight.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We begin in Milford tonight in the manslaughter trial of State Police Trooper Brian North. Trooper North choosing to take the stand today. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. North has been charged with manslaughter in the first degree with a firearm. The incident happened when he was on duty in 2020. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc was there during his hours of testimony.
I still think about this every day. I lose sleep over it. It's not an easy thing to experience and live with.
33-year-old Trooper Brian North testifying in his own defense, faced with manslaughter charges in the shooting death of 19-year-old Mubarak Suleiman.
I felt that I had to act in that moment, or the West Haven officer, even potentially Trooper Jackson, could have been killed.
For the first time, jurors are hearing what he was thinking during the incident on January 15th, 2020.
Passing 40, speeds 80.
Where Suleiman led police on a high-speed chase in a stolen car and crashed it in West Haven. Dispatchers calling it a carjacking, saying Suleiman had a knife. Trooper North describing the moment he ran up to the driver's side of Suleiman's car with his gun drawn. Another trooper doing the same on the other side. At first, North says Suleiman was out of it. Then, a West Haven officer breaks the passenger window.
The operator of the vehicle, it seems like he wakes up, he comes to, his eyes shoot wide open and he begins looking around. His hand then immediately shoots down to his right pants pocket, and he began reaching rapidly as if to pull something out.
From his view, North says he thought the West Haven officer started to reach into the car to pull Suleiman out, all with a knife in Suleiman's hand.
At that point, I had it's almost like an oh my God feeling. This is happening while the West Haven officer, I'm thinking, is in the window because I can't see him. And I was afraid that he was going to be stabbed in the face or the neck.
Seconds later, North fires 7 shots, hitting Suleiman.
Brian, why 7 shots?
As I just said, I didn't know it was 7 at the time. It's not something that's intentionally done. 7 rounds, it's just falling back to my training.
The same training Inspector General Robert Devlin argues should have required troopers to take a pause.
Anybody communicate with this man using the PA system in your police cars?
No.
You didn't do that?
We did not.
Devlin pointing to the split-second decision North made to fire his gun when he thought the officer was lunging into the car.
Did you shine the flashlight over to the passenger area to confirm or dispel where this guy's crawling through the window?
No, absolutely not. That would be extremely dangerous.
Really? It's more dangerous than shooting someone in the chest 7 times?
Objection, Your Honor.
As for North, claiming he shot Suleiman to save the lives of the other trooper and officer, Devlin points to this moment.
Give me a quick synopsis what happens when the bosses start asking? Just at the end or the whole thing?
The one thing that would actually justify your conduct, the most important thing in this whole case, you don't mention that.
No.
Now, in terms of the length of this trial, the evidentiary portion is expected to wrap up by the middle of next week, and testimony continues on Monday. We're in Milford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, turning to the weather now, and we are gearing up for the Greater Hartford St. Patrick's Day Parade tomorrow, and so far the skies look clear for the marchers.
That's good news. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for a first look at the forecast this weekend. Hi, Rachel.
Yeah, because we knew that rain was going to come this weekend, so we were closely watching the timing, but Luckily, while the clouds will come in for the parade, the rain holds off until Saturday evening and Saturday night, when we could get quite a bit of it. After clear skies overhead today, so nice to see that sun. Here come the clouds now, and we're watching a cluster of disturbances, one here, one to the south. These will come together to develop into our storm system, and that will end up moving almost directly overhead, which will bring us some of those heavier downpours. And we are once again anticipating just about an inch of rain. More rain than we need. Overnight lows dipping back into the 30s as we head towards daybreak for the start of the Hartford Parade. Well, I should say around 9 a.m. before things get started. Maybe you're making it down to Hartford. You're picking out your spot along the parade route. Temperatures will still be in the 30s with mostly cloudy skies. We're still dry around the time things are stepping off at 11 a.m. with temperatures around 40 degrees. And we're looking at high temperatures in the mid 40s. Later in the afternoon, there is a rising chance for a scattered shower, but the bulk of the rain will hold off until after sunset tomorrow night. We'll talk more about when that rain comes to an end, plus the gusty conditions that will follow. Your full forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, a Massachusetts man is in custody tonight accused of shooting and killing a Connecticut National Guard member and her 11-year-old daughter. But his accomplice, who police say was last seen in Hartford, is still at large. Fox 61's Bridget Bureau has more on the investigation.
National Guardswoman and her 6th grade daughter shot to death Tuesday in what police are calling an ambush attack. It happened in the middle of the afternoon in Worcester, Massachusetts, light enough in the day to capture the double murder clearly on surveillance cameras.
Police reviewed security video which shows the victim's vehicle parked on the side of the road. 2 people walk up to the vehicle and start shooting the vehicle.
Fox 61 counted more than 24 bullet holes in this white Nissan Rogue. The one 27-year-old Chastity Nunez and her 11-year-old daughter Zella were sitting in when they were killed. Prosecutors believe 2 men are responsible for the crime, who they say circled the area in a white sedan before opening fire. A witness wrote down the license plate number and reported it to police.
Worcester police were able to connect with the vehicle's car system through AT&T, and were able to locate the vehicle in Hartford, Connecticut, about a little bit over an hour after the shooting.
Police say 28-year-old Carell Manguel was arrested back in Worcester on armed assault to murder and gun charges and appeared in court on Wednesday. But the search continues for his alleged accomplice, 27-year-old Dejan Belnavis, last seen on surveillance video in Hartford.
A check of Mr. Belnavis showed that he had a relative who resides close to where the vehicle was parked. In Hartford.
And tonight, the Connecticut community is mourning the loss of 2 young lives cut short. Chastity Nunez served 4 years as a patient administration specialist with the state's National Guard, where she's being remembered for her intelligence and compassion. In a statement, the Connecticut National Guard said in part, quote, "Our hearts are broken because we lost Specialist Chastity Nunez to senseless violence. Her wit, social nature, and dedication to duty made her one of the best soldiers in our unit. I cannot begin to make sense of why this happened." In Hartford, Bridget Bureau, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Glastonbury police have arrested a woman claiming she was an accomplice in a stabbing. Amina Wetherington is accused of encouraging Marcus McDaniels to assault the victim and then failed to check on her 9-year-old child who witnessed the incident. The incident happened at the Academy building last month. Police say Wetherington and McDaniels left the scene without the child. McDaniels was arrested soon after the stabbing. Police say the victim is expected to be okay but needed surgery.
And meanwhile, Meriden police have made an arrest in connection to a street takeover from last May. Police say Adalberto Oseguera turned himself in yesterday. He was identified as a co-conspirator in the damaging of a Meriden police cruiser on May 6th of last year. Oseguera is facing multiple charges, including inciting a riot. He is due back in court later this month.
New here at 10, a road in Wallingford near the Meriden town line had to be closed. Several telephone poles and electric wires were in the roadway. Take a look at the scene here on Old Colony Road. Police say a truck hit some wires. The poles then came crashing down. Thankfully, no injuries have been reported. The Wallingford Police Department and Electric Division had to get the area clear.
We have much more coming up here on the news at 10. Congress passes the first package of spending bills just hours before a government shutdown deadline. We'll explain what programs are funded as the bill makes its way to the president.
It's International Women's Day, but the United Nations says we're years away from true gender equality, although they're laying out a plan to bridge the gap and empower women and girls across the world.